guys, welcome back to my channel. I am 34 weeks pregnant. I will be 35 weeks tomorrow, which means I only have 5 more weeks until baby girl's due date, and I am so excited. I am so thrilled. I cannot wait for her to be here, but it's becoming super real that this is happening soon. You know, when you first find out you're pregnant, it's like, all right, I have 9-10 months till my due date, and you feel like it's going to go by so slow. And I don't know if it's just because I have 2 other kids and everything else, but I thought it was going to take forever for February to get here, and we are 1 week away. And I'm getting more excited, more anxious. I just cannot wait to have a little baby in the house to snuggle again. But let's jump right in. Let's get to my symptoms. The last week has been a crazy one. We'll start with exactly a week ago. I had worked, and I was going to leave work, and I had to go to the bank, and I had to go to the grocery store, and I had to pick up my son. And on the way to the bank, I started getting this extreme pressure in my bum, and I was like, yeah, I have felt this before, and it doesn't feel right. So I ended up calling the nurse's line, because at that point it was wrapping around my stomach, it was wrapping around my back, it hurt to sit, and of course I'm sitting in my car. So I called the nurse's line, I left a message for them to get back to me, and I decided, okay, I can't go to the grocery store, I cannot pick up my son right now. I need to see what they need me to do and go from there. I have a 35-minute drive from work to my house. So I was getting into town and they still hadn't called. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just go home and see if I can relax a little bit. And if they call, go from there. I ended up getting home and I took a shower and I drank more water and I laid on my left side, which is what they say to do if you're having contractions and everything else. You know, that tends to slow them down, or if they're not real contractions, it will stop them. So I got in the shower, I did all this stuff, and they ended up calling me. It was about an hour and a half later, but at this point, contractions had really slowed down. I was feeling better. I wasn't having that intense pressure I was having that was really making me nervous. And the nurse asked me how I felt. I told her, and she said, well, how do you feel? Like, what do you want to do? And I said, at this point, I don't want to rush into anything. I feel okay. And I just kind of needed to talk to somebody just to make myself kind of feel better. Just because they kind of know more so, obviously, what's going on than I would kind of have an idea. But I was like, I have an appointment first thing in the morning, so I feel okay waiting. And she said, all right, well, if anything else happens, anything else changes, please call us back immediately. So I was like, okay. I felt fine the rest of the night. So I was like, great, good. And I went into my appointment. And luckily, I saw the lady that I saw the last time after I was in labor and delivery. And she was the one that told me, go ahead and cut your hours back and we'll go from there. So I ended up cutting my hours back. I was still having a ton of contractions at work. I went back to work, that following Wednesday, and I was in so much pain when I got home. And I had to go back to work on Thursday, and that's the Thursday. I believe it was the week before. But anyway, I was in so much pain. I was almost in tears just because of the discomfort I was in. I felt like my back was just breaking apart. I felt like my pelvis was breaking apart. I just had so much pressure. So I talked to her about that, and I told her about what had happened the day before with having all the pressure down low and everything else. So she said, if you don't mind, I would really feel comfortable checking you just because you were just in the hospital not long ago. And your cervix was high and closed, but I just want to make sure there's no dilation, just so we have a peace of mind, we feel better. And she said, and I want to kind of tell what baby's position is. So she goes to check me, and as soon as she goes to check me, she said, baby's head is right here. She said, I feel her head. And then she said, you are 2 to 3 centimeters, so you are done working. She said, I don't feel comfortable with you being on your feet as much as you are anymore, especially with the pressure that you're having and everything else with how low her head is. So she said, if you are able to take off, I'd rather you be done until after baby. So I am currently on bed rest as much as you can with 2 other kids. Luckily, when they're at school, I try to relax as much as possible off my feet. Just because I can tell that she has dropped more into my pelvis. I had my baby shower on Saturday, which was beautiful. My mother-in-law did a wonderful job. She threw me a little baby shower. We did a tea for Tori. So we did a little tea party. Everybody got to take their teacups home as favors. It was really sweet. It was really cute. And it was just so different for me, like opening all these things, and they're all pink. I'm just not used to it. So I'm getting really excited about doing the bows and, you know, the cute little clothes and everything else. But I had that on Saturday, and the next day I woke up and I could tell that she had dropped. Just by my belly shape being so much lower. Now it's more of a ball. Like, if you followed me, I haven't ever really gotten that big, but my stomach shape is different, and I could just tell the way that everything feels down there, that she's definitely a lot lower. It's heavy when I go to the bathroom, like it's just very uncomfortable. And, you know, I've had 2 other kids, so I kind of know the process of before you go into labor. You know, everybody's different. I have started losing parts of my mucus plug. Obviously, it can grow back, but I have been losing parts of that, and I have had my body starting to kind of clear itself out, which is TMI, but typically your body tends to do that before you go into labor. It can, you know, it can happen a couple days before, it can happen weeks before. It's different for everybody. You know, every pregnancy is different, but your body tends to kind of clear itself out before you go into labor. I've had, not today so far and not yesterday, but, you know, the couple days before, I had tons and tons of Braxton Hicks all day long. So I have an appointment tomorrow. I wasn't supposed to go back till 2 weeks because typically you go back 34 and then you go back 36. But with the dilation and everything else going on, she said, you know what, I want you to come back in a week instead of 2 weeks. So I'll go back tomorrow and I will see a doctor, see one of my other doctors, and go from there. I don't know if they're going to end up checking me tomorrow or not, since, you know, since I was there just a week ago. I don't know if they will or not. But I do have my doctor's appointment tomorrow first thing in the morning, and I'll get, well, you know, they'll check me out and tell me to go from there. But other than that, I mean, that's all that's been going on. It has been crazy just because I've been extremely tired. I have not been sleeping much this week. I am definitely, you know, at that point where the insomnia has really, really kicked in. I've had it for a while, but I'm definitely starting to feel more so tired. And, you know, yesterday my husband got home and he's like, what is wrong? And I'm like, nothing's wrong. I just can't even keep my eyes open. I'm just exhausted. And it's not even like the night before I was up a ton. You know, I woke up to go to the bathroom once or twice, but I don't know. There's some nights that I sleep great, and there's other nights that I just do not sleep at all. My one son did not sleep much last night. He has the growing pains, and so last night was kind of rough. He didn't sleep very well. So hopefully for a better night tonight, that we can get some sleep, and you know, which is kind of waiting game now. We'll see, you know, when she decides to come. I'm really hoping that she'll, you know, because you can go from being not dilated to full-blown labor the same day. You know, your water can break, whatever. You can go from 3 centimeters and not go into labor till weeks and weeks later. So it's just all different. You know, with my second son, I went into preterm labor at 32 weeks, and I was 3 centimeters dilated. They put me on bed rest. I didn't have him until 37 weeks. So it's just, you know, your body's going to go into labor when your body's ready. So it's just kind of a waiting game at this point. I'm hoping she'll wait. at least till 37 weeks. But she'll come when she's ready, and we are ready for her. We have everything that we need, and we're excited to meet her, but we don't want to meet her too soon. I'd like her to wait a little bit longer. Just so, like I said, I don't enjoy pregnancy, but just so I can enjoy a little bit more, just me and her until she comes, and then share her with the world. I'll go ahead and show you my belly, and then I'll be back next week to update you guys. I am going to do a hospital bag and a diaper bag video. I do have both of them packed, so look for those coming up soon, and then I will see you guys next week. So let me get up. My foot's asleep, so I'm moving kind of slow. But as you can tell, before she was up a lot higher. Now she's like, there's nothing here. It's all down here. So she's definitely lower now, more in my pelvis. So definitely not comfortable, but we're getting to the end of the road, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.